Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking in our podcast to Sophia Louisa Lee. She is a screenwriter, an actress, and a producer. And this week, actually, I say about a week and a half ago, I read one of her screenplays called M.O.B. It utterly shocked me. I mean, I literally went, ah, and my assistant went, is everything okay? Not an easy thing to do. I've been reading many scripts for many, many years. So I'm very excited to interview her today. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Sophia. Sophia, welcome to our podcast.
Oh, thank you so much, Barb. And I really appreciate your reaction to the script. That really makes me happy. So thank you.
So Sophia, tell us a little bit about your past. I know you're a screenwriter in addition to being an actress and producer in the business. Tell us how you got started in the business and why you even wanted to be in this business and what led to your screenwriting.
Well, it was interesting. I started off as a painter and I was in the art world for a really long time. And I had my own
Ooh.
art gallery and that was going really well until there was like a really crazy situation regarding my gallery space where a friend who I thought was a friend pretty much took the gallery from under me,
Oh,
which it was really nasty.
yeah.
Um, but I had just met a woman who moved to LA from New York who was pursuing acting. And that was something I always wanted to do. But because I was a mother, a young kid, I thought, well, this really isn't for me. But I decided to go for it anyway. And so, pretty much, my very first audition, I got the lead.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, this is a sign. So, I really jumped into it. I'm SAG AFTRA. I've done a lot of commercials and independent films, which I love. And I've done some TV stuff, very small stuff. Um, but I just had a lot of fun with it. And then I joined a theater group and I started writing comedy shorts because I didn't like the roles I was being up for. Because I'm a more mature actress. um, everything I didn't like what I was being asked to do. So I thought I told the director I could write better than this. He goes, okay, prove it. So I just dove in and I started writing. And then I realized when other actors started changing my work and not really respecting what I was doing, I thought, okay, I want to get into film. And so I took several courses. Screenwriting U was a big one for me. And I did that for about 3 years, just pounded out course after course after course, and really tried to get my natural rhythm going with it. And I got lucky. I would go to film festivals and I talked to producers and I started co-writing. So then I started getting paid like $500 here, $1,000 there. And but I was actually being paid to write. And in 2023, I wrote 7 scripts for
Wow.
two different producers. And I was just so excited. But then also, because of that, I met this woman who wanted her life story turned into a script. And we talked for about a couple of hours, and she had such an incredible story. I told her this needs to be a book first. You really need to put everything into it. And then later, once we have a base for you, we can turn it into a movie, kind of like Eat, Pray, Love.
Right.
And um, she said, okay. And she was just this amazing woman. And we signed a contract, and I had got my agent involved. And it's been such an incredible journey doing this. It's actually the first book I've ever written, and I've just learned so much. And while writing the book, I've written these other scripts. I mean, I just finished a script for a producer in Hong Kong, which was amazing. But it's so interesting to be able to jump back and forth from the two different mediums.
Right.
And I actually find that really exciting because a lot of times you'll hear, oh, you just finish one thing. But sometimes I find when you're stuck on one thing or you can't quite figure something out, when you jump to something else, you kind of get that flow going, and that synergy is really happening. So it's really exciting.
It's rare to have a writer that can go between the two mediums of writing screenplays, features, TV, and books. It's very rare. So
I
that's a rare
love it
talent.
though.
It really is. So tell us what for screenplays in particular, what is your process? Do you outline? Do you focus on a concept first, character first? Do you have a process?
I usually get a general idea first, and then I'll just scribble out notes, like as many notes as I can. And then I try to figure out my acts, what I want. But I always leave myself open. So whatever I write, I'm not 100% committed to, because sometimes when you're in that flow of writing, something new will come to you and you're like, oh, what about this? And what's been interesting is this producer in Nevada I've been working with, um, he'll get these incredible ideas, but he's not quite sure, where to go with it. And so working with him has been such a great learning experience and so exciting, because he's really open to letting me take it where I see it going, and then he'll take it a different direction that I won't necessarily expect, but
Mhm.
then we'll be able to build on that. And I find that that's really rare, because so many people are like, no, you have to stick to the structure. But when you find a person you can really do that dance with, where you know all the steps, but you could just really let it go and flow, that is so exciting.
Yeah, and this is a very collaborative business. I think a lot of
Yes.
writers think of it, especially book. I know book writers, obviously, it's a little more solitude, but screenwriting and TV pilots, it's very, very collaborative. And you're right. When you find that person, you have that synchronicity with it. It's really amazing. It's amazing. Now, I understand on the book side of things, on your book writing, that you're currently working on a memoir that's almost finished. So tell us about that.
Well, it's the name of the title is called A Piece of Me: Finding My Voice After Mormonism, Marriage, Medicine, and Men. It's this
Ooh,
woman's journey,
that's a
right?
lot.
It is a lot. She was born in a very Orthodox Mormon family, and I was really never that familiar with Mormonism.
Mhm.
But her great grandfather was one of the founding members of the LDS church, and so there was very strict. It's a very patriarchal religion, and she was the first in her family to be excommunicated. She was divorced. She had a baby die. Just in, she was living in Vegas, and a lot of horrible things happened to her while in Vegas. But
Mhm.
she kept. I want to say that Mormon mountaineer vitality, where she just kept going because she knew she had to find who she was, and she did. And she really came like full circle into really owning who she is and not being the victim. And really, she started her own business, and she's doing quite well now.
That
So,
sounds like a really good arc, like in terms of a real life arc. She had a change in life, and I love the contrast of the Mormonism and the Vegas and all that's in there too. So I'm like
right,
I'm already making the movie here. So in my mind,
right. And
right?
she's
Because
such an amazing.
it has all the components for a movie as well as a book. So.
Yeah, but there were just so many components. We really have had to get it all um, down into a book. So.
And if it becomes a movie, they'll fine tune that probably down to one aspect of her life. They might do that, but I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll cover all of it. I don't know, but that's the amazing thing about books and movies is they really are two different things, but they complement each other in such a wonderful way.
Right.
Um, okay, so now we want to move on to my favorite subject with Sophia, which is M.O.B.
Oh,
So I'm sitting here reading the script and now this is a thriller. It's a crime thriller. I'm not going to give away your ending, but I'm not because I want you producers out there to read this for yourself. It's a crime thriller. Now, anytime you have the word thriller in your genre, and that means mystery in the speculative market, along with all the thrill parts, it requires a double twist ending. And one of those twists has to be something shocking big that the audience, even though it was kind of in their face the whole time, didn't get it till the end. And then it's like this big moment. A lot of you are pretty good at it, but Sophia literally made me go, oh, like literally out loud while I was reading to the point that my assistant was checking on me to see if I was okay. So it's brilliant. It's wonderful. So tell us, without giving away your ending, because I want people to find that out for themselves, a little bit about M.O.B., why you decided to write this, what inspired you, and tell us about it.
well, I have to admit, I love thrillers. They are my favorite. Action thrillers, mystery
Yeah.
thrillers. I just love thrillers. I'm from Arizona, and I grew up on the border of Mexico. And it was a time where you were either white or you're Mexican. I happened to be both.
Well,
And so I got to see a lot of both sides. And there was a lot of, interestingly enough, there was a lot of racism on both sides. It's like if you didn't belong to one or the other, it's kind of like you're the outcast. So I
Right.
got to see a lot of the both. And so I really wanted to bring some of that into my storytelling, to show the landscape of the Mexican border, the extreme poverty, the violence. And I wanted to show the United States, the Texan, and I don't think it's stereotypical, but in a lot of ways it's a stereotype with rich Texans, but I like to think I gave them a nice twist too. Um,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
and I have family that lives in Texas, so I was familiar with the landscape, and I just really liked the juxtaposition of the characters and how it came about, and of course the lies and the misdirects, and then that thing of always wanting to be accepted and wanted for who you are, and never really quite getting that.
Can you tell us what is your blog line for the project?
I have to say, I'm
It's
so
okay.
bad with log lines because I want to tell the whole story, and
Okay.
I'm working on that. But you actually helped me with an amazing log line. I don't have it in front of me right now.
One of the best crime thrillers I probably have read, I would say at least in the past 5 years.
Oh, thank you.
So Sophia, if you could advise someone out there, because you've been in the industry, you've seen different aspects of the industry, you've seen it from different sides as an actress, a producer, a screenwriter, a novel writer, a book writer. What would you say to someone out there who's aspiring, who wants to be in this business? Was there something advice you would give them, or what would you tell them?
Well, if you really want to do something, no one can ever tell you no. If it's in your heart and it's in your soul, you do it. You just do it. You don't put restrictions on yourself. I know we have so many restrictions on us all the time, especially ourselves. But if you really want to do it, just do it. Don't let anyone hold you back. Don't get caught up in it has to be this way. It should be this way. It's like let yourself color outside the lines. I came into this business um, as an older person. I mean, I didn't go to college for it. I did online courses, and I just threw myself into it because I love it. I'm passionate about it. I love the people I've been able to work with and people I want to continue to meet. Go to film festivals, go to networking events, meet people, do stuff. Just make it happen for yourself, and never, never, ever get that victim mentality, because I don't want to read about a victim mentality. So don't be a victim mentality.
Right, right. Now, do you have a process? Do you write every day? Do you write
Oh yeah.
evenings, weekends, or what? Do you have a process? What's your process?
Um,
If
my
you don't mind.
hands start hurting because I write so much. Yeah.
I can
um,
tell. I can tell you write a
um,
lot.
if I'm not working on a script or the book, I'm journaling. I'll get new ideas all the time. I'll scribble them down. Uh, since I've been working on the book, I've gotten ideas for other books. I've talked with Susie about it, who I'm writing the book for, and she's getting her doctorate. And so we're talking about collaborations down the line after this. So it's just writing is just so exciting to me. It's just the process of creation and what can come after that too, and
Sure.
how so many people can be involved and be excited by an idea and to really see
Yes.
it bloom. That's
Yes. If you get others excited about your idea, that's when you're really in this business, because when they latch on to where that excitement you have about it, then that's when you're going to end up with a motion picture. Okay, so in conclusion, tell me if there's anything you would like to say to the producers out there about your project. Uh, Go for it. This is your time.
well, one thing I've learned about being a producer myself, I don't have to stick to the script. I'm completely open to whatever needs to be changed to make it work. And that comes with casting, it comes with locations, it comes with, what's happening in the moment. We need to make this tweak. I'm not one of those people who says it has to be this way. I want to create something with a group of people who are passionate about the project. I want to get it done. And so I feel that teamwork and that synergy and that focus on creating is really what's all about.
I agree. Yeah, as we talked about the collaboration earlier, although I have a feeling that you producers out there won't need to do very many changes with this one. So, okay, Sophia, I thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate your time and good luck with all of your projects. And we'll come back later and give everybody an update on how Sophia's doing. So.